Hi, good morning. So last night I decided all of a sudden to do a reading vlog, and now here I am to actually explain things properly and just introduce the vlog because I haven't done that yet. So hi, I'm Kat, and I started reading this book a couple days ago. And this is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. And it's one of those books that you have seen, I have for years and years. I have been seeing all over, everywhere, and it's just very popular. So I knew it was about vampires, and I was curious. So the point of this vlog, after thinking things through, is to read 3 books, all of them about vampires, and see just where we are at with vampires. Are vampires back? Especially in my teen years, I have enjoyed vampire stories very much. But that being said, I have grown up a lot as well. I don't know if my reading tastes have changed in regards to vampire stories. You will see what other books I decide to read, and let's go on this journey together. Hi. So I started reading this book yesterday. I just was not expecting what I'm reading. It's so dated. This is going to be interesting for sure. So right now I'm in page 134, because that's the thing, like, is this good? No. But is this compelling to read? Absolutely. This is such a thing that I was not expecting. The names? They have the most ridiculous names ever to grace the earth, and I don't know what this author was thinking about giving them these names, because it's so pretentious and it's so ridiculous. We have Wrath, who is our main character here. Then we have Torment. We have Rage. We have Vicious. We have Fury. And we have Sadist. So I think last night I was like, I had a fever dream, because I don't remember really explaining what this book is about. I just remember making fun of the fact that they have ridiculous names, which they do. But this book is about, I think I said before, vampires. There's this group of warriors. They're the top of this vampire society, and they're meant to protect, like, civilian vampires. They are super strong. They have, like, some sort of powers. And then obviously we have the human character, who is a journalist, and she's very much, like, unaware that this world exists, obviously. So first off, in regards to vampire novels, usually the vampire character is attracted to the blood of the human character, but usually in these types of romance novels, it's not just the bloodlust, but it's always like sexual attraction. So there's always, like, that's a subliminal thing. That being said, and I'm surprised. I don't know what I was expecting. I know what I was expecting. I know what I wanted, but I wasn't expecting this to be so heteronormative, because it is explicitly said, and you also have, like, a glossary at the beginning, like this, and it is explicitly said that males feed on females and females feed on males. Like, that's it. And, like, I'm not even going to mention the fact that you have that binary thing of females and males. The fact that that is so strict, I find it very bizarre that that is such a thing, you know? Because other vampire novels, you feed off whoever the fuck you want. And here's like, no, males feed off of females and females feed off of males. Like, why go that far? Just the glossary, I was very put off. We have this mating element, like, vampires can find mates. Fine. Like, we've seen this before hundreds of times in different books. But then the thing with mates, and I actually enjoy that trope, but the thing with mates is that you usually have a pairing of mates. But here we have the fact that males can mate with various females, but females can only mate with one male. And just reading that, I was very put off because we here like equality. I am now on page 250, so I am hoping to finish this today. I just finished this book, but I don't really know what to say, honestly. Like, why are people so in love with this situation? It was compelling until a certain point, and then the last third of this book was just very tasteless, not tasteless, just nothing special. I'm disappointed. There were a ton of things in terms of the way that I think and the way that I live life that just don't flow with the messages of this book. The next book I'm going to read is this one, which is Fangs by Sarah Anderson, and I think this is just going to be so cute. It is a graphic novel. The style of illustration is just so cute. So I thought it would be a very interesting change of pace when it comes to vampire stories, and I'm really excited to read this. So the thing in the back says, a love story between a vampire and a werewolf. So obviously this will not follow the same style, the same pattern as Dark Lover, because there's no humans involved, so there's not a thing of introducing them to the vampire world and everything else. But still, I think this is going to be really fun, and I'm really excited. This is quite short, so I think I'm going to fly through this, but I'll talk to you in a second. Like I was expecting, this was a very quick read. It was really fun, but not that deep, I would say. If you enjoy the illustration style, it's really fun, but in terms of story, it doesn't really tell a full story. It's almost little snippets into this couple's life, really. So he is a werewolf, she is a vampire, they meet at a bar, and then it's little moments of them just living out their lives and their romance, like having a girlfriend who doesn't show up when you take a picture. Like I said before, completely different from the other book I read and the one I'm planning to read next, but still I thought this would break up the vlog nicely. I just want to show you one of my favorites because I think it's funny, and the other one, this one. These were my favorites. Hi, so I am back a couple of weeks later. This vlog is going to be a long time making and coming. So right now I am reading my third and final vampire book, which is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, and I am so excited to get into this book and finally read it. I think this came out 2018 or something like that. No, 2019, so last year, and I heard so many great things about it, so many fun things, that I am just super excited to finally read it. I am on page already 123, so that's exciting, and so far it has been a lot of mystery. So I went into this, and I'm still into this, not knowing anything about the story. I know it is historical setting, so we are in 1872 New Orleans. I know that eventually vampires are gonna come up, but then I don't really know anything else. So I'm really curious. From what I've seen so far, there are people with special abilities, and I don't know if all of them are vampires or not. So I don't know if it's a case of Twilight vampires where certain vampires have special abilities, or if it's just a magical society of beings where some of them are vampires and some others are not. I don't know, I'm curious. Our main female character is Celine, and I am really enjoying her point of view, her way of seeing the world. She's very fun, very like feisty. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, I don't know too much about it yet. We're just setting the stage. Things are starting to happen, and it's so much fun. Like, it's the perfect read for October. Last time I talked about The Beautiful, I was about a page 100, and now I am at page 200. And I have some things to say. So, from what I understand, this is supposed to be a vampire book, but we are very much like going around that part. We have two main characters. We have Celine, and we have who is our human protagonist, and we have Sebastian or Sebastien or Bastien, and he, from what I am understanding, kind of, he's supposed to be our vampire or kind of magical creature. I'm guessing vampire. But still, like, page 200 out of 400 something this book has, and still we as readers are being kept in the dark as much as the human protagonist is, which is interesting. And for a book about vampires, is not something that is usually seen and expected. So far, I am enjoying this book so much. We have a mystery running through it, which I think is an incredible thing. We don't have a lot of those cliche expected things happening right now. This is going very against the norm, and I am loving that. This is my first book by Renee Ahdieh, but it'll certainly not be the last, because even though I'm halfway through, I know I'll be picking the second book in this duology. So I finished The Beautiful last night, and oh my god, I loved this book so much. It was what I was expecting, but at the same time, it took me by surprise so many different times. I said before that this was a duology, so it was The Beautiful and The Damned, the second book, but apparently it's not just a duology. I think it's going to be a trilogy, because I read one review somewhere that said that they were happy that Renee Ahdieh was going to write more books in this world. So I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy, a quartet, I have no idea, but like, more books are coming. When it comes to vampires, this is a very peculiar book, because even though it talks, or it doesn't talk about vampires, but it deals with vampires, it deals with them in a very particular way, because we don't see them as out in the open as with some other books. They are definitely not the main focus. You see the characters move in this world that is magical in a sense, but that aspect of the world never overpowers the emotional side of the characters and the mystery that runs through the whole story. It was very refreshing, and even the romance part, it took almost the whole book for the characters to admit they had feelings for each other, which I loved so much, because it felt real. Like, we are in 1872, so there is a lot of decorum, a lot of social norms that people had to kind of accept and respect of the time. And we see them, even though our main character Celine is very, let's put it, she's very unconventional. The way that she acts still respects and still acknowledges that there is a certain way to act in society, and whenever she goes against it, she is aware of what she's doing. She's not like a 2020 character that went back in time. I'm really interested in these characters, even though like we see them together a little bit, but apart, they're still very interesting characters. And I am, especially Bastien, is that how you say his name? I'm really fascinated by his whole character and his story, especially because I would say like the last 100 pages of this book were wild. Like everything was happening. I really enjoyed where the story ended. I cannot wait to see where we go from here, especially because with the way things ended, we have a more typical path ahead. But since Renee Ahdieh subverted our expectations so much in this book, I am hoping and kind of counting on my expectations being just thrown off the window and surprised and be surprised all over again. So that makes me really, really happy. With all the books, well, all the vampire books that I read, I have to say this was absolutely my favorite, even though it was the one that dealt with vampires the least, but not because it dealt with them the least, but it was so refreshing. You already know my thoughts. Oh, now like it's so rainy and gross, you can tell, but it's so rainy and gross outside, but now suddenly the sun. If I had to order them, this would be absolutely at the top. After this, Fangs, which was, it was cute and very quick to read, very fun. And then after that, Dark Lover, which I don't even recommend. We already know this. And yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it was a little bit all over the place because this took a couple months to film, but at the same time it was a little bit unplanned. Still, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, please let me know. Share your thoughts. I'd love to talk about them. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!